Hey guys, Sean here. We're gonna take some shots at my ballistic dummy head. Well, obviously it doesn't have any guts in it, and well, he's looking a little bit square these days, like Max Headroom or I don't know, Vanilla Ice. Yes, I'm that old. This ballistic gel is probably a year old. He's sat in the heat, and he's got a little bit flat. It's a little bit hard, and I don't know what it's gonna do, but we're gonna use the baby X68, the BP50, and the full-size version, Pistelle X68. And no, I'm just looking now, those are not anal beads. That is a ramrod for your magazine. Yes.
Dum da dum dum.
First, plastic barrel is reinstalled. So my aluminum barrel worked good, but it just started to work itself loose. Obviously, it was just kind of a hokey pokey homemade deal. And I am working on a better version, a steel version that might, well, I'm not going to spoil that, but I got a great idea for it. And so plastic barrels reinstalled. I have 12.7 millimeter steel ball bearings in here. Forget about Dre. Man, he's put a lot of rounds through his BP50. Now he has his magazine problems, and I think all of you have except me. Now mine came from Taiwan. It came black. My magazine has never given me any issues. Yes, it does seem fragile, but the launcher itself is solid. I mean, it's not unlike the X68 in any way. It's just miniaturized. He was like doing some puncture and wait in the sun and shoot and getting crazy numbers like 25 joules, 27 joules I think was his tops. Obviously that's not realistic. He mentioned that in his videos, but still nonetheless, sometimes this stuff's just for fun, and it's between me, myself, and I trying to best my own numbers, and I really do enjoy watching stuff like that. It's not always about the self-defense aspect, and most of my channel is not. I have fun what I'm doing. I keep what I keep, and I don't always talk about it, country of origin. That's all it is. So plastic barrels back in, 12.7 millimeter steel balls inside. We're gonna get a couple baseline numbers before we shoot our squared head there. These are 8.4 grams. You saw me just puncture it. $202. $198. $194. Woo, that's cold. Like ice, like burning cold. I've never had that before. So a couple of things. I did Loctite my barrel sleeve back in, so this is gonna be the test right here. Does it unthread? Yes! It stayed in there. We'll test this one more time, because what I really want to try are these. So digging through my box of projectiles, I forgot I had these, and you can see there's not that many in there, but I got enough to fill a magazine. These are 12.7 millimeter, so they're probably a little bit big for this barrel. Delrin balls. They are all exactly, so these are like precision balls like you'd use for ball bearings. I mean, well, so are those. And that is a good point, actually. When we're like these steel balls, like, I know these are the home defense ones, but the 12.7 millimeters, if you buy those ball bearings like on Amazon, they're like a data hound like perfection, because they are exactly the same weight, exactly the same measurement. That is a good thing about ball bearings, is they have to be precise. as are these. 12.7, they weigh 2.3 grams. And I'm very curious, plastic on plastic. How will that do? But let's get some base numbers on the X68. You know, obviously this is an apples to apples, and in this case, I'm just gonna use alien plate, aluminum balls, 7.3 grams. Got my funky slide check on here, aired up like that, easy peasy. 4.5-inch barrel, factory length barrel. Thank you, Glenn Conti of Less Lethal Ballistics for using his fancy barrel bore measuring device. He checked these MCS barrels out, well, at least his, at a 688. Now, MCS advertised as 686. And there you go. This is what I talk about all the time. Barrels are only as good as how they're manufactured. You call it whatever you want, same as the balls. You just gotta know. You gotta measure for yourself and know. My measurement using calipers was 6.872. I would have rounded that down to 6.87, but Glenn says 6.88, his fancy little device. So thanks, Glenn, again. So these balls, these aluminum balls, are kind of small. They're like a 680. They could be better bore matched. 386. 850 PSI output, by the way. Hey, it's coming back at me. 384. And whatever. Let's just bang those off quick. Trying to keep that noise violations to a minimum here. All right, we got some numbers. Beeman should have warmed up by now. Little white 12.7 millimeter Delrin balls. 2.3 grams. I got 7 loaded up. Normally, if the smaller the rounds, I can get 8 in here if they're like 12.5 millimeter, but as soon as I get above that 12.5, I can only get 7 in. Obviously, I could drop 1 in there. Puncture. What will these little plastic balls do? I'm gonna get a little closer. These things are gonna ricochet because they're light. Woo! 390. I'm just not gonna touch. I know. Forget about Dre. He had some those lambed balls, and like even just went on a puncture and shoot, not in the heat, so not doing his little heat soak test. Like he was like 550 feet per second, which is just crazy from something so small. Jesus, you see that thing fly? 390. Yeah. Ooh, it really likes these. 390. That's three 390s. Trying to keep an eye on those. 380. $374. Yeah. See, I was kind of shooting down so they wouldn't come out. All right, let me do some calculations. Figure out which balls I'm going to use for max headroom there. I might just use the 12.5s from Home Defense 24. They do fit the plastic barrel the best, but let me see. Let me go see. Old blockhead is set up, so I'm going to shoot at this kind of nice flat side of his head. 7.3 gram alien place. Now, this might be a really bad idea. That ballistic gel is hard, so if it gets haywire, we might end this video sooner. About 50 joules with these balls. I think one of them even went right through. Oh yeah, one went right through. Actually, did they all go through? Nope, they didn't all go through. I don't know if you can see that. Let's see if I can get it. It's really cloudy because it's old, but there's one there. You can see the streaks through. So those little tits are the entry holes. My red dot is right on the money though. So 1, 2, 3, 4 stuck in there. And nope, 5 are in there because there's 1 in the trap. BP50 Mini X68. Arbitrarily, I've chosen the 12.5 millimeter, 8 gram steel ball bearings because I realized I could go through my projectiles all day long and searching for like the one that ekes out the most power. I've done a lot. I've done enough testing with my BP50. Probably, I don't know, 170 rounds or so, almost 200 shots through this now. And with the plastic barrel, I just never saw really better than 16, 17 joules. So that's what I'm going with. And I'm standing, both these launchers are being shot from 3 meters, so about 10. Well, I'm standing about 12 feet back, but by the time I'm on arm's length away, we'll call it 10 feet. This is where it might get dangerous for my kneecaps. All right, let's get in the right position here. Oh, and I forgot, I don't have any sights on this right now, so that's okay. Point and shoot, point and shoot. Hey! Whoa! Yeah, 210. That is not a good idea. That hit me right here. It actually hurts a little bit, but it skimmed off. So I'm gonna go closer. This is bad. This is bad. I didn't even know how to do this. Well, we're gonna do one shot. Hopefully it doesn't take out my camera. Hopefully it doesn't take out my window. And yeah, okay. Actually, no, we're gonna go point blank. We're close to it. Man, this is a bad idea, bad idea. Very bad idea. It's coming. Oh.